I wake up pretty much the same time every day, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, depending on circumstances. But my day normally starts off with a cup of coffee and checking emails and at home and that kind of thing. I do go out when I'm on the street, going to meetings or going someplace, and if I see something that needs to be attended to, I do that. Just the other day we had some escapees from a juvenile correction facility in Richland County, and I'd seen the young man standing by the municipal building, and so he looked out of place, but he wasn't doing anything. Well, it wasn't too long after that we got a call. We weren't aware that there had been runaways from this corrections facility. We got a call about one of them trying to get into a house, and ironically it was the same description of the young man that I saw standing on the footbridge by the municipal building. And I thought, well, that's the same guy. Well, I went by and he was still there, but by this time he recognized me and off he went. And so we had a short foot chase and he was caught by the officers. I tell the story when I was in the old building. I was a patrol officer, and there was Ohio Police Chief magazine, and there was a picture of the police chief there being sworn in as the president of that organization. And I always thought, if I ever get to be chief, I'm going to do that, because I just thought it was a good thing. So, and I eventually achieved both goals. So the technology, when I started here 29 years ago, a technology breakdown is when you ran out of ink in your pen. There were no computers in the cars. There was nothing like that. And you carried everything you needed in a big gear bag and set it on the front seat. But, today's officer has, a myriad of technological advances that they can utilize that, help them do their job. That's really my job, is to provide the members of this division with the proper training and resources and guidance, to accomplish their job. You don't manage people. You manage processes. You lead people. So when someone says they're a manager, well, then in my mind, I picture somebody that's, well, you got to do A plus B plus C, and that's how things are. But a leader, a manager tells somebody how to put a ladder against the wall. A leader is the one that tells them which wall to put that against. And that's really the key to this job, is to let your people work for you, not you tell them how to work. I try to stress to the officers that, and it's a conversation I have with each and every one of them that I've hired, is that you have to understand that when you get called to a call, while it may be the 10th time you've dealt with this issue with different people or places, at the time that person calls, it's the most important thing that's going on in their life, or they would not have called. And you need to treat it with that same respect and that same amount of attention as though it was the most important thing you had to do that day. And I've said it for years, it's kind of like, the Scrooge movie where that man comes out with his chain and he says, I built this up over years, being mean to people. Well, cops have the same thing, but it's not from them being mean to people, it's from the things that they've seen, and it's a chain that they drag for their entire career, You can go past a house where something tragic happened. Even today, I do it today. I see it and remember the scene. And so those are the things that kind of wear on you over time. You try to desensitize yourself to so many things that you see, and you don't want to bring it home. You don't want to bring it to your family, I'm fortunate enough that my wife has a law enforcement background, so that she understands. And so when we were together long before I was chief, and so when I would come home and have to sit and turn the TV on and decompress for a little while, she didn't take offense to that. But there's also good things that you don't forget either. Those are the things that you live for.
Many people may not realize it, but according to the charter of the city of Ashland, when you are elected to the role of mayor, you are also elected to the position of public safety director. And with that title comes the responsibility to make sure that we have a strong police force and that we have a strong and fully equipped fire department, as well as EMTs and so on. And so one of the major roles of the mayor is to make sure that we have the right leaders in those roles of police chief and fire chief. Chief Marcelli brings a lot of experience to the table. He just recently wrapped up his tenure as the president of the Ohio Chiefs Association, and he has really been a help to me as I have learned the position of mayor and the role of director of public safety these past couple of years.
We work collaboratively with all sorts of agencies. I mean, you know, again, anything that's major shooting or something, you know, we call BCI to do the crime scene processing. I mean, that's what they do. You know, yeah, we rely on the help of our law enforcement partners and children's services and, you know, like I say, a myriad of other groups that, you know, it's just one big team. We train officers how to approach vehicles, why you stand where you stand, why you say what you say, what you're looking for, and it's been that way, you know, since I started. I mean, things have changed, our tactics have changed, a lot of it based on certain things, but you know, you're always going through your mind, you know, you play the what if game, what if this happens, what if that happens, you know, and you know, tragically we lost a couple of law enforcement officers that were on car stops, and their experience and what happened to them changed some of our training. You're watching hands, you're watching, you know, signs that there's something wrong, that kind of thing. But you know, you make 700 car stops, you tend to get a little complacent, so you have to keep telling yourself, I've got to stay up on this. You know, if you're stopped at a traffic stop, which, you know, is probably not an everyday occurrence for everybody, you know, the best thing to do is roll the window down, put your hands on the wheel. If it's nighttime, turn your dome light on and answer questions and be courteous. We used to have a Citizens Police Academy, and that was a great program. I really would like to start it back up again. But citizens would come in and see that training and be able to ride with officers, and inevitably, when the first couple times, they would come back and say, I don't know how you guys do that. I was scared, and all I was doing was sitting in the car, you know, because they see how easy it would be. We can only hire people that are already certified or in the process of being certified. Our civil service rules dictate that. So we recruit from all the local academies. We did a lot of innovative things. We were one of the first departments in the state to institute and change our civil service rules to allow for lateral transfers from other departments. It means if you're already working somewhere full-time, you don't have to take the civil service test. You can bypass that process, come in, take the physical agility test, complete a background, and you're in. So we've hired several officers through that program. Our agility test is based on the Denver standard, and it's like I think it's a total of 90 yards, but you have to run a course, you have to be able to crawl under a table, jump through a window, climb a 6-foot chain link fence, and drag a 130-pound dummy 10 feet and identify the suspect from pictures that you were given when you started. Interesting side note, when we first did it, we had it up at the university at the indoor track.
Okay.
And we had to validate the test. We didn't have any female officers at that point, so we recruited 3 basketball players that were there. And one of them literally vaulted that 6-foot fence without touching it with her feet. It was amazing.